What's up guys, Aroneous here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video I'm going to be going over some do's and some don'ts if you're actually going to be going for the Morrigaine fusion, and let's get right into it. So first things first, you got to be very careful for this upcoming event, right? We do have the tab here that goes over the news, and it should be going over the Morrigaine fusion. So just to start, we've got the Artifact Enhancement event going on right now. Some of you out there, you probably didn't prep for this event. So now you find yourself kind of stuck because a lot of you out there are trying to farm the Fire Knight, right? So you're trying to get Savage gear, and you probably aren't selling as much gear as you would like to get more silver, right? So if you don't have any silver, you got to get some more silver. So how can you do it? Well, you can try to farm Spider, but probably not the best thing to do. So sometimes, depending on where you're at, what level your account is, you want to min-max the silver amount, right? But you also want to get decent gear. It's possible that you could, if you're on stage 20 of Fire Knight, just sell 5-star gear. Right? Now, unless it's legendary. So if it's legendary 5-star gear, keep it. But if it's anything under legendary 5-star gear, if you're trying to farm and focus on Fire Knight, maybe you should be selling that 5-star gear. So for example, right now, I didn't come into the fusion with a lot of energy. So day one of this fusion, this is how far I've come so far, and I'm only at 926 points. It's not a lot, where you have some other people up there at 3877. Now this could be someone who's stockpiled a ton of energy, which is most likely the best thing you want to do is stockpile as much energy as possible for fusions, stockpile a bunch of gems to purchase energy as needed, or just save and salvage the energy pots that give you 99 days worth, and they just store in your little inbox at the top right here if I were to close this out. Of course, I'm definitely going to go for this fusion, and I personally think she's not the best fusion. But at the same time, I don't think that you should just forego trying to get her just because there are certain end-game content creators that are like, it's not going to do anything for your account, okay? If you're a free-to-play player, if you're a low-spend player, you don't have Lysandra, you have High Katoon, and that's it. Hell Hades has said that this is just a High Katoon, an upgraded High Katoon. However, Hell Hades is still going for it on his free-to-play. He doesn't have the strongest free-to-play account. It's like a mid-game account, but still, it's going to help progress his account. The reason why I wanted to go for it was because I'm a late-game free-to-play, but I want this champion because this is like a mini Lysandra. Yes, it's like a High Katoon. Let's just call it as it is. Between a High Katoon and a Lysandra. Okay, we'll stay there. However, this champion could be massive on my account. It also could be massive on your account if you use her in the right sets and in the right area of the game, right? So a lot of times people tend to focus on trying to make one champion work for everywhere in the game. I'm a huge believer in that, and I believe that I've done it myself a million times. So like Scylla the Drakes, you could specialize her in certain areas of the game, or you can put her in just Doom Tower, or you can put her in anywhere, right? So a lot of you out there are probably specializing certain champions. If you're later game, end game, as compared to earlier game, many of you are probably making everybody a roundabout type champion, a jack of all trades, so to speak, so they're working everywhere for you. Now that can be hard because when you get towards the late game, when you start working on missions such as myself, where I'm working on this reach silver 4 in the tag team arena, it's going to become more and more challenging, and you need to have your champions more specialized. So that's one of the reasons why I think that she would be great for my account, because I'm going to specialize her specifically for maybe one area in Doom Tower, but mainly Tag Team Arena and Arena. I don't really want to use her anywhere else. As you can see, she has the awesome Fear ability with decreased accuracy. She's got the turn meter manipulation ability. Yes, I will say you have to book her, so it's going to suck, right? If you don't have her booked, and she has a less of a chance to decrease the turn meter of all enemies. And she requires accuracy. But so does Lysandra. And so does High Katoon. Right? So she has 102 speed as compared to, who is it, High Katoon? Where is she at? Barbarians, right? Okay, so High Katoon has a 104 speed. So I will say High Katoon's a little bit faster. She does have a 19% aura. She has a 50% chance of decreasing the turn meter of all enemies by 15%. And it books out to 75%, right? And this is a 4-turn cooldown, okay? So that's only 75% chance. It's an epic. Yes, she's okay, but it's 75%. It's not 100% when it's booked. Yes, she's easier to book, I get that, but at the same time, again, she's gonna be a little bit better. So with Morrigaine, 100% chance to decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 20%, not 15%. So 5% more, it books out to 100% chance. And it's already at 75%, whereas Haikatoon, you have to book her out to 75%. So already she's a little bit better in that sense. And fills the turn meter of all allies by 20% in the same ability and places increased speed. So this is much better than Haikatoon. So I don't understand why people are basically saying that she's Haikatoon. She's not Haikatoon, okay? It's very irritating. She's not Haikatoon, all right? She's better than Haikatoon. Haikatoon has to use this ability and then go into this ability. Morrigaine already has that ability in one move, okay? Morrigaine speeds up and does this at the same time. Okay, so she's not just Haikatoon. Morrigaine has more in her kit than Haikatoon, okay? So the people out there that are just freaking out and saying this is the worst fusion ever, worse than Lanatharil, I would say, honestly, she's not worse than Lanatharil. I think Lanatharil and her are around the same. I would rate both of them around a B tier champions. But by no means are they A tier or S tier champions. I would give them about a B minus at the lowest, but a B, a solid B. Do I think that Lanatharil is a little bit better, depending on where you're using him? Yes. I won't say that he's way better than her. I don't think that she's a way worse fusion. No, because some people could argue that she actually might be really good. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm, trying to get into her, Morrigaine, and her kit, whatever. Let's get back to business here. A couple of do's that you want to make sure you're doing, like I was saying. Fire Knight tournament, don't waste all your resources on areas that you shouldn't be wasting resources in. Try to min-max your resources. So if you can beat Fire Knight on stage 20, for example, like I can beat Fire Knight all the way up to stage 25. It's a 3-minute run, I will say, 3 minutes and 4 seconds, so it's a little bit long, which I would farm it like overnight most likely. And stage 20, I'm running at about 1 minute and 40 seconds. Now, it could end up being 3 to 4 minutes, and what I could do, because champion training is going on as well, is I could take out a champion, right? If I wanted to take out a champion or two, and I know for a fact I could still win on stage 20 of Fire Knight, then I would put in a couple of food champions. That's much tougher to do, and if you can't do it, you could just drop yourself back. Sometimes I drop myself back to, say, stage 13. Alright, so say I farm stage 13, and I know I could do it with just these two champions, right? Say I can just do it with Arbiter and Seer. Arbiter and Seer are obviously going to do really, really well, and then I need to put in some food, so I'd go here, and I would add some food into the mix on champions that I want to level up, because it's coinciding with the champion training. So, can I do stage 13 with just these champions? I don't know. It's possible. In this case, I probably would want to use another champion that would actually bring down the shield faster. In this case, if I don't believe that Seer and Arbiter could do it, maybe I would put in a different champion. So there's other champions as well that you can use, but you kind of get the gist. You want to make sure you can farm some food if possible. You don't have to do this, but if you don't have a lot of resources, then this might be something that you have to do. So that's just something that might be beneficial for you if you're going for Morrigaine Fusion. And you can see I only have 213,000 silver, which I don't have much silver. I've been trying to upgrade it and also work on the events. So like I said, we've got champion training going on, which I haven't really upgraded my champions yet, because I haven't really been putting them on stage 13. I've been actually working on stage 20, 25 for Fire Knight. So that's actually my bad, right? So I want to make sure that I'm optimizing and min-maxing what I'm doing. So I probably should do stage 13. The issue is I want to get stronger gear so I can utilize it in other areas of the game. So artifact enhancement. I have been working on artifact enhancement since I've been farming Fire Knight. Like I said earlier, I've been only keeping legendary 5-star and higher, and then all that money all that silver that I've acquired, I'm then putting it back into my artifacts. So this shouldn't be too hard. Honestly, the artifact enhancement event is usually a lot easier. And again, I went into this event, this fusion, without pretty much any silver. Now, you also, hopefully you guys didn't make this mistake, but I know some people have made the mistake where they didn't log in every day to pick up this void shard. I mean, that's a free void shard. You pretty much never see that. I don't know if this is the only time that they've given us a void shard. Leave it in the comments down below if this is the only time that we've been given a void shard for this fusion warm-up event, but I'm pretty sure this is the only time they've done it. So that's really important too. Another thing to keep into account, something that you don't want to do, especially if you don't have enough silver, is you don't want to go into Iron Twins. I know, hear me out. The issue is, if you're going into Iron Twins, look how much it costs to do one battle. And obviously you're going to want to do as far up as you can, right? 20 energy. So if you're doing 6 battles, that's a full energy refill. Okay, so that's why if you don't have enough resources, like I don't have a ton of resources, I don't have any more energy, as you can see. I do need to do a gear cleanse, by the way. But I don't have any energy, as you can see. And I only have 734 gems. So this is probably the lowest you'll see a lot of free-to-play accounts. And that's because I've been utilizing a lot of my gems to upgrade in Minotaur for my champions. I want to upgrade my champions in the Minotaur. So I spent a lot of gems over the past week or so to upgrade some of my champions. So going into the fusion, I'm not looking that great, but I feel like I can still do it. Ancient shards. I did pull ancient shards, which I shouldn't have done that. I think it was last weekend or the weekend prior where they had the 2x ancient shard event. I didn't even get a legendary, so shame on me for doing that. I would have had about 60 ancient shards ready to go. There's Summon Rush and there's Champion Chase. There it is. So Champion Chase, I would have blown that out of the water. I do have 7 sacred shards, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure it happens where the Champion Chase is coinciding with the weekend, as well as the 2x 10x event that's coming up. Let me double check here. So October 28th. Yeah, so starting tomorrow, October 28th to the 31st, which is going to be Monday. Yeah, Monday. We've got the Champion Chase. And as you know, if you guys don't know this, Champion Chase, typically the rare is going to be around 2,500 points. So just remember that. It's typically 2,500 points, unless they decide to make it more. There are times where they made it more. The maximum amount I think they're going to go to is like 3,000 or 3,500. If they do that, that's kind of ridiculous, but they could do that to you. So be careful. Don't just go into Iron Twins and spend all of your resources. I know that the Soul Stones are really great to get these Mortal Soul Stones to pop and try to get these awesome champions in your Soul collection. I get it. But if you're going to go for a fusion and you're all in, then don't waste your resources unnecessarily. And then at the end, you're like, oh, shoot, I accidentally spent all my resources. Like, don't be that person. Okay? Obviously, fusion warm-up, you wanted to do that. Some people didn't do it. Artifact enhancement, you want to make sure you're farming the Fire Knight right now. Don't go into spiders unless you absolutely have to, or unless you have tons of resources saved. Like, I don't have tons of resources saved, so I'm not going into Spider's Den to farm silver there. I'm going into Fire Knight because I want to complete Fire Knight's castle, and then I'm going to go to champion training. So I typically focus on champion training with Nightmare or Brutal for campaign, or I'll use my champions in Spider as well, and I can farm Spider on stage 20 as well with like 2 champions for food. But typically I just go into Nightmare and farm Nightmare because it does a lot of experience as compared to a lot of silver. So that's just what I tend to do. So maybe it's better to do Brutal, but I do like to do Nightmare from time to time. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know in the comments down below. Did I miss anything? Is there other things you want to add that might help people out there? Please leave it in the comments down below. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.